The morning sun poured softly through the wide kitchen windows, lighting up the quiet room where silence held its breath. Adrian Wolfe stood frozen, his hands still dusted with flour from the breakfast he had been preparing, staring at the woman who had just stepped into his life like an unexpected storm. Serena Vale, the city's youngest and most mysterious CEO, looked at him with eyes that carried a softness she rarely revealed to anyone. And then, with a voice trembling somewhere between courage and fear, she said, "Dance with me before you regret it." Her words didn't just break the silence. They shattered the walls Adrian had spent years building around his heart. If you believe in kindness and second chances, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Heartbeat Tales. Your support helps these stories reach more hearts. Adrian had never been a man who let emotions show easily. As a single dad raising his 7-year-old daughter, Mira, on his own, vulnerability felt like a luxury he couldn't afford. Life had hardened him after losing his wife in an accident that left him drifting between grief and survival. He worked double shifts at a small-town cafe and spent his nights helping Mira with homework at their kitchen table. Nothing in his simple routine hinted that someone like Serena would ever step into his life-serene, powerful dress, in a silk robe that seemed to glow in the morning light, yet carrying loneliness like a shadow behind her confidence. Their paths crossed only because Serena had bought a private estate outside the city to escape the endless pressure of her corporate world. The previous caretaker had retired suddenly, and out of desperation, her assistant had hired Adrian for a temporary job without knowing his background. All Serena knew was that he worked hard, respected his boundaries, and didn't treat her like a CEO, just a woman trying to breathe. But today was different. Today she looked tired, her perfectly held composure cracking around the edges. She had spent the entire night awake after a board meeting that questioned her abilities, doubting her heart, her worth, her strength to keep going. When she walked into the kitchen and saw Adrian humming quietly while preparing Mira's favorite pancakes, something inside her softened. It reminded her of a warmth she hadn't felt in years. She saw not a man struggling, but a man standing, steady and gentle, even after life had broken him. Adrian didn't know what to do when Serena reached for his hand. Her touch was hesitant, almost fragile. His instinct was to pull away. He didn't want Mira to misunderstand, didn't want to give his heart false hope, didn't want to step into a world where he didn't belong. But something in Serena's voice, in the plea she tried so hard to hide, held him still. "Dance with me before you regret it." She wasn't asking for romance. She was asking not to feel alone. In that quiet morning kitchen, with sunlight spilling like gold and mirror playing in the living room, Serena placed Adrian's hand on her waist. He hesitated, then gently rested his other hand on her back. They moved slowly, awkwardly at first, swaying to a rhythm only their hearts could hear. It wasn't a dance, it was two broken souls borrowing strength from each other. Serena felt herself melting into a peace she hadn't known existed. Adrian felt his heartbeat steady after years of chaos. They didn't speak, didn't look away, didn't question the moment. For the first time in years, they both allowed themselves to simply feel. As days passed, something subtle began to bloom. Serena started spending more time with Mira, helping her paint drawings for school. Adrian cooked meals for Serena on evenings when she returned exhausted from meeting. They became a small, quiet trio, healing in each other's presence without trying. But the world outside wasn't kind. Rumors spread, employees whispered about Serena's distraction, and her board accused her of becoming emotionally compromised. When she found out, she broke down in the very kitchen where that dance had happened. Adrian found her trembling, tears slipping silently down her cheeks. He didn't speak. He simply walked to her, placed a hand over hers, and waited. Serena lifted her eyes, searching for an anchor, and asked in a trembling voice why people hated softness so much. Adrian didn't have the answer, but he offered her something else: steadiness, the kind she had been craving and the kind he had been afraid to give. When Mira ran in, hugging Serena tightly and telling her, "You're strong like my mom was," something inside the CEO shattered and rebuilt at the same time. She realized she wasn't weak, she wasn't lost, she wasn't alone. And she didn't have to run anymore. One afternoon, as golden daylight stretched across the kitchen, Serena looked at Adrian again the same way she had that first morning and whispered, "Thank you for not letting me break alone." And Adrian, with a gentle smile that carried years of buried hope, finally replied, "Thank you for reminding me I can still dance." If this story touched your heart even a little, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Heartbeat Tales. Your support means more than you know. Special request: comment "I believe in second chances" if this story reached your heart.